Person one loves person two. Guess what? Shenanigans ensue. Person one hates person two. Guess what? Still shenanigans ensue. Person one fake dates person two. Guess what? You guessed it. Shenanigans ensue. Co-host one reports to co-host two. The name of the show? Shenanigans ensue. Yeah. Hello, I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Jane, and welcome to Shenanigans Ensue.
A podcast where, at the risk of sounding like my mother, just stay perfectly still and let us get it over with.
Each episode will watch a rom-com and discuss its merits as a member of the rom-com genre.
We'll cover well-worn classics, hidden gems, and everything in between.
We'll give you our unsolicited opinion on every trope, caper, and flim-flam the film used, or maybe abused.
And of course, the shenanigans!
Sure,
Shenanigans.
So, Jasmine, can you keep a secret?
Yes.
Good, me too.
And we did keep a very big secret from y'all.
Yes.
And that is that this is a special guest episode.
Yay! Welcome to the pod,
Yay.
Devon Padley.
If you don't know Devon, the one thing you need to know is Devon is our resident expert on B through Z list actors of the 90s and early aughts.
It's very true.
It's very specific.
It's that kind of specificity that finds movies like this.
And I promise this was completely unplanned, but this also happens to be Devon's birthday episode.
Oh, right! I don't know how this keeps happening, but happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Oh my gosh.
Devon.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here for my birthday.
Yes!
What
I
a way
can't
to
believe it.
celebrate.
I guess we're gonna just have to keep doing this, so if your birthday's not in February or June, you're out of luck.
Yeah, right.
Need not apply. It's so dumb. I don't know why that keeps happening. It's so good.
We're gonna run out of guests really quickly. So birthday rules apply. Birthday person gets to choose the movie. So what movie have you chosen, Devon?
Down with Love.
Yes, Down with Love.
What an excellent choice. I've never heard of this film.
I don't think a lot of people really have heard of this film, or at least I don't think enough people have heard of this film.
No, they haven't. Actually, Devon, you're the one who introduced me to this movie back in 2017, I think.
Yes.
So thank you.
I think we just talked the other day. I hadn't even seen it since 2015, but I was still singing its praises 2 years later. I hadn't seen it literally from 2015 until last week. And I was still telling everybody how incredible it was because it just made an impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It stayed with you.
Yeah, it did.
I wanted you to tell everybody about your incredible system for finding such unknown movies.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was just thinking this morning about how impressive it was too that I was doing the system pre Netflix, Hulu, all of the online things. So I was either finding them illegally online.
We all were.
Yeah, right? Or I was finding DVD copies in thrift stores or whatever.
Amazing.
Let me rewind. The system is that I would have an actress who I was just head over heels in love with. And I would backlog in her IMDb. I would go back and watch every single film I could get my hands on. I did that with Stockard Channing, Sally Field, Julianne Moore.
So simple, so effective.
Yeah, and then that means I'm watching made-for-TV movies from like 1963.
I love it.
I have a copy of I forget what the name of it is. I have it somewhere, but it's a Sally Field movie from, I believe, the 60s or 70s. Never came out on DVD. Someone was selling a copy of the recording of it that they got from their television. Last time it aired in probably the 80s.
With commercials.
With commercials and all. So I am very skilled in digging these movies up from who knows where a lot of them ended up. But that is how I found my way to Down with Love. I was in a Renee Zellweger phase.
Excellent choice.
Yeah, I found a lot of very interesting films from her. Incredible actress.
Yes.
I feel like at the time when I was watching it, I probably saw it for the first time in 2013, 2012. I think she was still disappeared at that time.
Mm.
You know, she was gone for a while.
Mm-hmm.
She recently came back, but I just remembered people were like, Renee Zellweger, why? And I was like, why not? She's amazing. So anyway, that's how I found Down with Love.
This was like right before Chicago.
I think
Yes,
so.
I think so.
Oh, I love that. There's a musical number at the end, y'all. Watch the
Mhm.
credits.
And I have this on DVD, of course. DVDs are so special because they have so many special features. And one of them is the entire performance of that song, full screen, not just the
Oh,
little
my
one, from
word.
beginning to end, the whole thing
Oh.
choreographed. It's incredible. I'll find a way to get that to you guys.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, please.
I just need to watch that on a bad day.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's incredible.
The unnecessary fan kicks.
They're endless.
So good.
I feel like they happen mid-movie.
Yeah, right? I love a fan kick. I was mentioning that to Jane, that the amount of entrance choreography,
Phenomenal.
coat coming off choreography.
The theatricality is just magnificent.
Yeah, I had noted it's definitely a period piece.
It really is.
But it's not just a period piece, it's a film that knows it's a film.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yep,
not
yep,
just.
Very self-aware.
Yeah.
They break the fourth wall.
Oh my god.
Before we get too much into the movie, Devon, we ask all our guests, what are your favorite and least favorite tropes from the rom-com genre?
Well, I don't know if this is a trope. You guys tell me if it's not.
No wrong answers.
I don't watch a lot of rom-coms
Mhm.
unless there's a notable famous actress from the 90s in them.
Fair.
But I have noticed the one trope that I don't like is like successful woman goes to small town and husky farmhand teaches her the meaning of like baking bread.
Well, there goes basically every Hallmark movie.
Yeah,
Definitely a trope.
essentially that. Oh my god, I like don't know the words for that trope, but that's the one where I'm like, no, let the woman be successful.
Yeah.
And do her thing. She don't need no man.
It's career woman, small town.
Career woman, small town. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't like that one. Because then they're like, oh, you're too mean. And
Yeah.
it's like, let her be mean.
You're just afraid of her power.
Yes.
There we go. Anyway, so that's the one I don't like, but I love a good enemies to lovers.
Yay!
Yes.
Yeah.
We love a good enemies to lovers here.
Yeah.
Excellent choices. And we should probably give everyone a more formal plot synopsis.
Yes.
So, reporter Catcher Block, ladies' man, man's man, men about town, thrice cancels an interview with feminist author Barbara Novak.
She calls him out on national television for being the worst kind of man who no woman should date.
As revenge, Catch creates an alter ego to try to trick Barbara into falling in love with him.
Shenanigans ensue. Yes, they do.
And we've never done this before,
Mm-hmm.
but we are going to give everyone a quick disclaimer. This film has an extremely significant and hugely important plot twist. So if you haven't watched this movie yet, for the first time ever, we're going to tell you should turn off this episode and watch the film first.
Why we usually don't give spoiler warnings is because it's a rom-com. We know it's going to end in a happy ending.
Yeah.
The fun is getting there. But with this movie specifically, you absolutely have to have watched it before listening to the rest of this episode.
Because I think it will actually impact your first view.
Yeah.
If you go in knowing. So this will be probably the one time that we do this. But please turn off the episode if you haven't watched it yet. Go watch it and then come back.
Yeah.
It is worth watching. So if that's what you're here for as well, this is definitely a must watch.
All right. Are they all gone? Shall we commence?
Marco.
Polo.
Okay, great.
What a delightful movie.
Truly, what a surprise.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And so many surprises popping up.
Mm-hmm.
It's also just like aesthetically beautiful.
Beautiful. Filmed in 2003, set in the 60s. We've got such beautiful costuming and sets. We've got sunken living rooms. We've got ridiculous capelets. Everything.
We have unnecessary soft focus.
So much soft focus. That soft focus. Okay, wait. We'll get to the montage.
Yeah, we'll get there very, very soon.
And the split screens.
Yes. I love the use of split screens in this movie.
The split screen telephone.
Yes.
Such good choreography for a split screen.
Oh my God.
Phenomenal.
No matter how many times I watch this film, I feel like I react the exact same way. Just jaw dropped.
Yeah. Giddy delight. So excellent.
I'm really excited to get into the meat of it. So shall we hit those tropes?
Let's do it. We've got all caps, bolded montages. We have music doing the most, and does she ever?
Oh, girl.
We have
Girl is busy.
We've got an excellent playboy, Ewan McGregor. We've got enemies to lovers. We have hidden identities. Multiple.
Mm-hmm. The plural was intentional.
We have such great best friends.
Can I also cut in there?
Oh, yeah.
Although in the film, it's not the gay best friend trope,
Yeah.
but come on, it's Sarah Paulson and David Hyde Pierce.
Yeah, they're serving pan all day.
We need to just bring that up. It's just the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
We have some queer representation.
Yes.
And the fact that they find each other in the time period that this is written, perfect.
just so incredible. Talk about chemistry.
Yes.
We have an orchestrated meet cute, but so much more orchestrated than you could even imagine.
Mm-hmm. Levels.
Layers. We have a public love letter. We love that. I've got a saying I've never seen something so beautiful, but not looking at the thing that you're meant to be looking at, and you're looking at the person, and you're really talking
I
about
didn't know
that.
how to consolidate that.
No, I know what it is. We love that moment. And it's a $6,000 telescope, y'all. And finally, we have a making a wish on an eyelash. I love that trope.
Yes. So funny.
I do it in real life.
Oh, I do it too.
Oh, every time.
What was very funny about this trope to me, it was that it was a fake eyelash.
Oh, yeah. There was nothing there.
He faked that trope. Okay, Devon, guests go first.
Oh my goodness. I mean, can we talk more about the best friends?
Yay. Yes. Let's go back to those besties.
Absolutely.
Because I was just looking at my notes, and I love Vicky, played by Sarah Paulson.
What a queen.
Yes.
She's Barbara's editor, right?
Yeah.
That's her position.
Yeah.
I just have this note from at the beginning of the film when
Her
she's
entrance
incredible. Just what, a cloud of smoke.
Yes.
coming out of the elevator. Yeah.
Incredible.
What a reveal.
But she's in that meeting with all of those old white men, and she's proposing Barbara's book, Down with Love, The End of Love, Women Don't Need Love. It's equal participation in the workforce, quote unquote, as she's making the men coffee.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, I'd love a cup. Oh, yeah, if you're getting some, I'd love a cup. No, I'd like some tea. And then so she continues her pitch, but it was just such a moment.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
And she handles it like such a fucking queen.
Yeah.
Given the circumstances of the time period, there's not really much she could do, but she keeps her head held up high.
Give some side eye.
Her shoulders are back.
Right,
Yeah.
totally. And then David Hyde Pierce. Can we talk about David Hyde Pierce?
He's so good.
Peter McManus.
I didn't even know that he was going to be in this. As soon as I saw him, I yelled his name out loud.
I mean, he's such a delight.
Yes.
It's like having like a giant piece of chocolate.
I know.
But I wrote DHP gay because I love him. I love him. Him and his husband, I believe, are still together. Like, gotta love that. But it's just, again, it had been so long since the last time I saw it. I totally forgot that ends up being a plot point for him.
Yeah.
Where he's in love with Vicky.
Yeah.
And they get to the end, and there's like this second kind of quote unquote love story going on with the two gay best friends. And it just ends up, she's like, no, I know your secret. He's like, what secret? And I just love that. I love how that unfolds. I love that that's a point in the film. She's like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll make it work.
It's fine. We can get married.
That's
Even
so
if you're in love
great.
with Catcher Block,
Oh my God.
they great beards for each other. I love it.
You could be a power couple like that in New York City.
Oh, imagine how many there are.
Yeah.
Currently and in the past.
There are worse things
Exactly.
than mutual respect and all of that.
What was it? Mutual respect and revulsion or something?
Right. I love both of them so much.
Yeah.
I'm truly not joking that the second his face made an appearance, I just shouted out, David Hyde Pierce! And I never remember anybody's name.
Oh my gosh. This film is full of people like that.
Yes.
There's David Hyde Pierce, obviously, Sarah Paulson, Jerry Ryan.
Oh my God, can I please?
Go for it.
When Chris Parnell showed up,
Right?
I lost it. Chris Parnell is my favorite of the Chris's. Pratt, no thank you. Pine, he's fine.
You're not rhyming right now.
Yes, I did.
Pine is fine.
Because Parnell is my favorite of the Chris's, and I will fight anyone.
I should have looked up who the casting director was, but they had their stuff together. Rachel Dratch.
Rachel Dratch is in this.
Yes! Oh my God, I yelled for her too.
Jane, were you at that class at, I think it was Ripley Studios, and Rachel Dratch was there as we were leaving school?
Well, if I was, I missed it. No.
I forget what class it was,
Oh.
but she was in a studio talking to some people.
Oh, that's so amazing.
I was like, oh my God, that's Rachel Dratch. And then I probably fled.
Does she exude as much chaotic energy as I think she does, just walking around?
She, in that moment, felt really zen to me.
Oh, I love that.
And I remember that specifically.
I love that for her.
Incredible.
Yeah.
The rarest of comedians. Oh, I'm obsessed with her.
But again, I saw her fleeting through a door from a hallway, so...
She's so cool.
I want to add, too, Jerry Ryan is in this, and she played Seven of Nine on Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah, she
in the
did.
90s.
I saw her and I was like, is this Star Trek?
Yep.
It's 7 of 9, tertiary adjunct of Unimatrix 11? I don't remember which Unimatrix.
I don't remember either, but I'm glad that you know who I'm talking about.
Oh,
and you know
100%.
Yeah, I love Jerry Ryan. And then I never know how to say his last name, but there's John Aylward. He played Don Anspot in ER in the 90s.
Oh my
for
gosh.
over a decade.
And who does he play in this?
He was one of the old white guys.
I love that.
Mhm,
Those guys were
mhm,
really
mhm.
funny too.
They were.
Oh my God, hilarious. And he is beloved on that show. He was a great character, so...
RJ, CJ, JJ.
Right? Oh, I forgot. Let me source the name. Let me source the initial.
No, you're right, Devon. Truly, hats off to whoever cast this because fantastic.
Obsessed.
Such a fun cast. Just everybody was so great. And
Mhm.
so much chemistry between everybody. I think it's wild,
Yes.
honestly, that these people didn't do more together.
Yeah, we'll post it somewhere on the Instagram. But there is a whole blooper reel of them together, and it's everyone on set.
You found it?
Yes, I found the blooper reel on YouTube.
And it's so delightful. Everyone
Yeah.
had so much fun on this set.
It's one of the most delightful blooper reels.
so much fun.
Oh, goals.
I'm trying to think of the one where Sarah Paulson and David Hyde Pierce are about to kiss. They're back to back. And she repeats something that Ewan McGregor said.
Oh, yes.
And she's like, I'm about to kiss DHP. We'll see if he slips me the tongue.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
Yes, right. That's it.
Obsessed.
Okay, we're going to talk about the montages, Jasmine. I'm not even going to ask you.
Oh my gosh.
What do you want to talk
Montages.
about?
Yes.
Montages.
Okay. I'm so delighted by these montages. Okay, the montage towards the beginning where a book is picking up steam and it's selling off the charts around the planet.
Amazing montage.
And they're doing all of these weird things about how the book is selling well in communist countries and women are also down with love.
They're smuggling it in the bread and under their hats.
Yes.
So funny.
It's really, really dumb and very fun. That's my favorite kind of dumb.
I love it.
And I also just loved that that was clearly the exact same set piece that they
Yes.
just dressed to do this montage on different days.
It's so tongue-in-cheek.
Good work. Economical use of set.
No notes. If you're gonna be corny, you might as well go all the way, you know?
Right.
Lean into it. Embrace it.
I'm never gonna be mad at that because now I know we're both in on the joke.
Mhm.
So after all of the bookstore shots and everything's really successful, they show the two women at an outdoor newsstand in New York. We're outside. They open a magazine. It's number 1. They both kind of look at each other like, we did a successful book. And then suddenly they have champagne glasses.
And a bottle of champagne, which they just pop
in the street. I was just like, wait, where? You were just holding the magazine. You did not have this in your... Where?
I love that.
And then we have to talk about, I wrote, such whimsy, exclamation point, dating montage.
Oh my god. Is that when they go on all of their dates and
Yes.
she is Zip and it's like green screen, they're like
They're
dancing
green screen.
and...
It's so bad.
So many costume changes.
Right.
Soft focused.
But I did notice that the red flapper dress she's wearing
Yes.
is the same one she wears in that song at the end of the film. So I wondered
Oh.
if they filmed those moments at the same time.
Probably.
Yeah, that was probably like sound stage day.
Yes, exactly.
Amazing.
It's just so corny, and I love it. There's no other way to describe it.
They're doing every single cheesy date activity that you can do in New York.
Every day.
And it's so fun to watch this play out.
the opera, the jazz, the dancing, the dining.
The ball game.
How about them Yankees?
The horse-drawn carriage.
Costume change. Look. So fun. And so much of it in soft focus. They're dancing and getting close, soft focus.
They're leaning over the edge of the opera seats.
Soft focus. Are they gonna kiss? Will they? Won't they? They won't. He's holding out. Soft focus. It's so ridiculous.
It's so dumb, but so delightful. That's all that I want. Dumb and delightful.
I love it.
The other name of the podcast.
The subtitle.
Yeah, you're so right.
Shenanigans, semicolon, dumb and delightful. It was all just really so fun. I really was impressed with the way that they used the montage, not just for furthering the timeline, but for also visual gags.
Yeah.
I love a montage either way, but come on, give me some visual gags.
Give me some callbacks as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think when they're setting up the dating montage, they're in the opera box where Catch,
Oh, the same opera box.
Yes.
the same opera box, and she's like, oh, Zip, I bet we're the only two people in Manhattan who haven't seen this play. And he's like, I promise you I'm not lying. I've never seen this play, because he's been making out with air hostesses every time.
So good.
So he's never seen it.
The implication, so good. So corny.
I want to talk about music doing the most.
Yes.
Because my goodness. The thing that immediately comes to mind is when they're getting dressed for their final date. We have a split screen of the
Yes.
sequence of them getting ready.
Mm-hmm,
And on Barbara's side, we have the very romantic, yearning, longing, fly me to the moon, let me play along the stars.
I think it's a woman singing it and everything.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
it is. And then we cut to Catch a Block getting ready, and we have a man doing exactly the same song.
Frank Sinatra.
Oh, is it
Oh,
Frank?
yeah.
I wasn't sure.
It's 100% Frank.
It's Frank doing his thing.
Fly me to the moon.
Somehow making it very sexual.
Yeah, really intense. You're like a little afraid he's gonna yell at you at any moment. That's how you know it's Frank.
And then finishing it with a button of Ewan McGregor putting on his zip glasses before he goes and knock on Barbara's door.
Stop it.
It's
So good.
so delightful.
Every detail is just pinned down.
It really is.
Mhm.
It's so good. Like when we have Zip trying to manipulate Barbara, and then the music soars and he kisses her tenderly, and then it stops because he's had a moment. The way they play with the music and they lean into that, but it feels like it's adding to the movie rather than being a distraction. Some movies do this
Yeah.
to like bash you over the head with how you're supposed to feel
Mhm.
because something is not compelling enough on screen. But with this movie, they know what they're doing, and sometimes will use the music to make commentary on how people are being duplicitous or something. It's so much fun.
Another button that they do, I mean, there is no singing in this one, but it's not to bring it back to the phone call, but the split screen phone call.
Which we will talk about in the shenanigans.
So
But
good.
at the end, on the button of the music,
Mm-hmm.
they both take a drag of cigarette at the same time.
Yes.
That moment is just...
is so good.
It's very satisfying.
And they're very satisfied too.
Yep.
I was going to say, I didn't mean it in the way that it
No,
came
I
out.
mean, the
but...
way that they're implying it is that this is a post-coital cigarette.
Exactly. Like I said, every detail is so specific and thought of in this film.
Mhm.
Why don't more people know about this movie?
I don't know.
Yeah.
They did not market it.
Is there another trope that you want to discuss, Devon, before we move on to the shenanigans?
I don't think so.
Honestly, the rest of the tropes are going to get covered in the shenanigans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I were going to take a trope and transition to the shenanigans,
Yes.
can we talk more about the hidden identities?
Oh my gosh.
We'd be remiss if we didn't do that.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
spoilers,
we're coming in
spoilers.
hot with that spoiler.
If you didn't listen before,
Yes.
now is the time.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about it because I originally watched the film and I texted Jane, I forgot about this plot twist.
Yeah.
I had completely forgotten about it.
It's buried so well because until you texted me about it, Devon, I'd also forgotten.
Yeah.
They actually got me too, because when I tell you that within 10 minutes of the plot twist appearing, I had been messaging Jane, and I said something like, Catcher, played by Ewan McGregor, is obviously extremely charming and funny, but he's truly unlikable. I don't know how I'm going to get behind them being together at the end.
Yeah.
I was like, this whole thing is untenable because it'll be based on like this incredible lie. And then I got. They fucking got me.
You got. Get ready to get got.
They gone gotcha.
They got me.
The plot twist being Barbara Novak was originally his secretary.
Bum bum bum.
2 years ago or something?
A year and a half ago.
Which, that's not even that long ago.
No.
Like, for him to not remember her at all, he's fallen in love with this woman that he has known before, has worked with, but
So
has absolutely
funny.
no recollection because she dyed her hair.
Because she was a brunette before and he doesn't notice them, I guess.
Yeah, he can't see a brunette's face.
They're invisible.
So I went over the monologue again before we hit record because I just needed a bit of refresher.
Oh, thank God,
It's
yes.
So funny.
Let's hit those bullet points.
How long is it?
It's a long monologue.
It's like 2 minutes.
Hats off to Renee because damn girl, I didn't really notice how long it actually is until I was reading it.
Endless.
Oh, she was serving every moment.
Yeah.
I went on a journey.
Amazing.
But also, how much of a serve would it be to just whip that out at parties? To have that monologue memorized and be like, guys, guess what I can do? The whole monologue.
I need to prepare it now.
That's my new goal.
I'm gonna prepare it for an audition.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
that's going to be my goal as well. So, why I can suspend my disbelief a little bit more is she was his secretary for a couple of weeks.
Oh my god.
A year and a half ago.
Oh my God.
And he asked her out, but she said no because she knew his reputation for all his secretaries. Which, to be fair, they do establish at the top of the movie.
Yeah.
Where Peter's like, you have another secretary? That's your third one this month. Ridiculous.
Ladies' man, man's man, man about town.
So Barbara concocts this whole scheme because she doesn't want to be just another notch on his bedpost or whatever.
Yeah, but just like jump in if I miss things. I'm kind of just like going fully off memory. But it was like she doesn't want to be another notch in the bedpost. So she goes to Maine, writes an entire book, brings it back, gets it published, makes it a worldwide sensation, knows that he won't do the interview.
Yes.
But then tricks him into thinking that she doesn't know and then getting him to take her on dates so that he could fall in love and then it was just chaotic. It's so insane.
The amount of confidence she has in how well she knows him that he will behave in these very specific ways for her plan to succeed is just wild.
Taking him fully out of the equation. On what planet do you know that you can specifically write a book that's going to get interviewed by No, the magazine?
Right. Especially a book about women and down with love, and it's about women's independence and women's rights.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh yeah, no, this is perfect for that magazine. Like, that is just a very specific choice to have made when trying to get his attention. And I love it.
Yes.
It's very devious.
I don't know how she pulled all of that off. In that one moment, I was immediately like, oh, he's gonna learn his lesson. She's also playing him. They're on the same level. I co-sign this relationship now. I'm good.
Catch has met his match.
You're both getting got, so now I can co-sign.
Yeah. And I guess, like, just because we're on it, she goes and starts her own magazine at the end.
No.
And it turns out Catch has learned his lesson. He's written his love letter to publish about how he got. Then he leaves to go to the elevator. The acting in that moment, by the way, when he leaves her office and he's counting and she doesn't yell his name.
Oh my gosh. I loved that moment so much.
The callback heartbreak.
Yes. The nuance.
The moment of like growth too.
And then he gets to the elevator and she's in the office behind him. Bitch, how are you in this elevator?
Magical elevator.
And I was like, oh my god, she's magic. And then she whips the headpiece off.
Yes.
And I was like, magic redhead. It was so... I lost it. I fully lost it.
But speaking of, magic, can we just address how the film literally ends?
Yes.
Hanging from a helicopter?
Yeah.
As it flies away? And where were they going? I remember having the thought, are they going to hang out of it the whole way? That's like such a long trip.
Right?
They're gonna hang from a helicopter to Vegas?
That's right. From New York to Vegas.
To get married.
That's going to get cold.
Yes.
That's 4.5 hours.
And like, do helicopters go as fast as planes?
No, so it's 8 hours.
My word. I also love that Catch's grand entrance is he comes in on a helicopter with like 3 women he's seduced in Argentina.
Right.
And we end with him flying off with his bride who just happens to be dressed in white as well.
She knew she was getting married that day. She already wore white.
Yes.
A woman prepared.
Exactly.
Is it gonna be white by the time the helicopter lands in
No.
Vegas, though?
It's gonna be beige.
Like, I just don't understand why hang out of a helicopter. It's just like in Greece at the end when they fly up in the car. I'm like, what's the end goal here? Like, why are we going into the sky?
Fever dream.
Take a bus. I love it.
that chopper at the beginning too. What was that smash cut? They were talking about Catcher?
Yes.
He was late or something, and they're like, where is Catcher? He's late.
He has a deadline. And if he doesn't come, he's fired.
Smash cut, beautiful woman helicopter. Like, it's ridiculous.
You know what I didn't think about until I read it on here? The women snaring apartment that attacks them.
Yeah.
I don't know, because that makes a lot of sense for Catcher. He doesn't want his apartment to be too comfy. You don't want them to stay too long.
Yeah.
But I didn't even think about the fact that it's like set up for protection for him, essentially.
Yes.
It's so good.
You know, quote unquote, tongue in cheek. The bed falling on Vicky.
Yeah.
And the records. I'm like, okay, that's where we're getting dangerous. That's where we're getting into like homicide territory.
And he's ready to take a witness statement at any moment, which is wild.
That's true.
And then the juxtaposition between Vicky and Peter being attacked in the apartment, and then when Catch and Barbara are in the apartment, and Catch is like, ooh, this brings the bed out of the couch, whoopsie daisy.
So good.
How'd you lose your bar? Like, it's here somewhere.
Yes.
That should have been the indicator that you were right, that this was secretly a rom-com and that he was
Yeah.
actually using the lead's apartment. Like, this is not his apartment.
I love that fourth wall break because it makes so much sense that she would think that.
It really is logical.
Yeah. It's like, I considered it, but no, it's so ridiculous. The logical conclusion is that you are gay and in love with Catcher Block.
Right. Are these your parents? No, those are Catch's parents. Why do you have a photo of Catch's parents? But also, like, all of the people that I have had crushes on, whatever, I don't have framed pictures of their parents. I don't know why that is her conclusion.
That is so weird.
Oh my god, he must be in love with him. He has a framed picture of his parents.
Yeah, that's why, like, of course, girl, that's not his place.
Yes.
But no, that's not the conclusion.
No.
Before I realized that Barbara was fully in on it, I wrote down the jig was up because of a beatnik, and I thought that was really funny.
Right.
This weird beatnik party was going to be how he got caught.
How she finds out that it's Catch making out with this girl in the room is when she comes in and interrupts them, and she's like, oh, sorry, takes off her coat to fling on the bed and says, Catch! Ewan McGregor turns around and he's like, yes.
Right.
And to know in hindsight that she knew exactly what she was doing is also so delightful.
So along with the don't listen to this until you've watched the movie, once you've watched the movie and listened to this, go back and watch the movie again.
Mm-hmm.
Let it affect you.
I know, I need to watch again just to understand.
Yes. Oh, another quick fun thing they have with the names is when Catch is running after Barbara, whose real name is Nancy, and Catch goes, Nancy! And Peter is like, well, who are you calling Nancy?
Yep.
I
Yep, yep,
also
yep,
had
yep,
that
yep.
written down in all caps with a frowny face. And the other one at the end when they're talking about their two magazines, there's No and Now. Obviously,
The wordplay.
it's crazy.
Well done.
So Catcher says, then you should know now at No, things are a lot like they are at Now. We have to interview every applicant for every job, and so do you, and you'd be going against Now's definition of discrimination, and you wouldn't want the readers of Now or No to know that now, would you? What? Crazy. I'm just like, ow.
Yeah.
Watching that scene, my jaw was just like on the floor. I don't even know what they're saying anymore, but I love to listen to it.
Genius.
I was so impressed with so much writing like that.
Yeah.
So many bits of clever wordplay. Obviously, the culmination of that being the ending there. But there was so many beautiful play on words, innuendos, double entendres. There were so many funny things woven into the script. Just really smart all around.
Very smart. As well in the car where Vicky says to Barbara, do you know who I got you an interview with? No. Froth now. No. And then we smash cut to Catch saying no to Peter because he doesn't want to do the interview for now. It's just so clever.
So good. Even writing into the stage direction or however you dress the set so that he could come up with his alter ego name, Major Zip Martin, the astronaut. Get the fuck out of here.
Looping back with that, the dry cleaning lady ends up being her secretary at her magazine at the end of the film, and I love that.
Obsessed.
She also got a glow up.
It's so cute because you see her in that scene where, you know, the husband's all mad because he's out back doing the laundry and she's out front. But it's because she read Barbara's book. She's not going to do just the women's things anymore.
Yeah.
I love it.
In that scene as well, how he orchestrates this meet cute. I was wondering at the top, like, is this just extra character development when they're talking about the whole NASA thing and Nazis in Argentina? Like, what is the point?
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, I just have Nazis ? Written down.
And then it pays off so well. And even further with how they set this up so well is that Vicky says to Barbara, I'm sorry, Barbara, that like you can't get a date anymore. You'll have to date an astronaut who has never heard of your book.
I didn't even catch that.
I missed that too.
In the next scene, we
Oh
have her
my gosh.
meeting an astronaut.
Oh god, it's so good.
This movie deserves a rewatch because
Yep. It's
it's breadcrumbed for you.
and it's so tight.
It's so funny.
They build in the fact that he isn't going to do the interview and that her book success is going to have to come another way by minute 25. And we've gotten her book being completely successful as a montage by minute 30. Like,
Yeah.
wild.
Very efficient. Oh, we said we'd talk about this, so we need to. That split screen phone call, the erotic one.
It's so good. The choreo, the changing of perspectives.
Yes. Vertical to horizontal.
Yes, how the screen switches is so brilliant.
Yeah, that modulating of the screen is so incredible. The movement, the way that the camera has to now turn 90 degrees to reorient for the new situation. It's so smart.
The amount of work that had to go in planning that from multiple different departments just to execute that is so amazing.
And they executed it perfectly. I would say that that's the best scene in the film.
Yeah.
For a lot of different reasons. It shows everything we love about the film in one scene. You've got the art, the costumes, the set design, the writing, the tongue-in-cheek innuendos,
The direction, the chemistry.
the choreography, the music.
It's all there.
Everything in particular that I love about this movie is all highlighted in this scene.
Yeah. And they're on a phone call. Phone call scenes typically suck.
Right.
And this movie actually has a lot of them. And they're all so much fun.
Yeah.
When we have the sequence of Catch standing Barbara up every time for a different meal. And I love this sequence so much because every time we get a wardrobe change, we get a little entrance choreo from the ladies.
Yes.
We have the ominous telephone coming, which when he calls to cancel for the third time for breakfast, Peter says, oh, it's not like Catch to be late. And then Barbara's like, no, he usually calls to cancel right on time. And Vicky says, oh, don't worry, I'm sure he'll call. I mean, come.
Clever writing everywhere.
But
It's
I hadn't
so
noticed
good.
the first time I watched this. The music goes, thunder. We have the split screen, lightning bolt.
It's so funny.
It's so funny.
Speaking of those moments where they're being extra as hell, and I'm so grateful for it, when she goes to reveal herself and do the monologue, there is a literal record scratch
Yeah.
from the records that are playing. And then, as she leaves and gets in a cab and he runs after her, he goes outside and he stands for one longing moment before thunderclap. Now it's raining. Get out. That's so funny.
There is another thing that I noticed it in this viewing, but I couldn't exactly figure out why they were doing it. So I got the full screen version, whatever that means. But
Flex.
right, a flex. There are moments where the framing of the screen changes. I know for sure there's a scene with Barbara and Vicky, and I forget what they're talking about, but the black bars on the top and the bottom slowly fade in.
Yeah.
And it becomes a widescreen shot.
Mhm.
And it happens a couple times, and I couldn't really figure out why.
Oh, I don't remember seeing that.
Cinematic.
Yeah, but why?
Just pay attention. There's something happening for the character development. I don't know.
When you guys rewatch, look at those moments, because I genuinely was sitting there like, are they telling us something? Is there a reason that this is happening? And I can't figure it out.
I don't know.
Well,
That's interesting.
not like we needed another reason to watch the movie again.
Right?
But there we have one.
Okay.
That leads us to
Fun Fab Fail.
Fun Fab Fail. Guests go first.
Well, I mean, we can also just all yell what we think at the
I
same
know,
time.
I know.
Let's do that.
Because it's going to be the same, I think.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
We all think this movie is
Fab. She's a fab.
When I was looking at that, there is no other option for this movie.
No.
And I was prepared to be irritated with the two of them together at the end because
Mhm.
I don't care how hot he is.
Yeah.
He was being such a lying prick.
But so is she.
Yes!
It was so hard for me to keep quiet. I was
I
just like,
know.
just wait until you get to the reveal. Just
No, it's
wait.
so good. And honestly, as long as you humbled him on the way there, slay. You guys are going to be together forever.
We've met them much. So, Devin, do you want to expand a little bit more on why you think it's a fab?
I mean, what about it isn't fabulous?
Right.
Like, there's literally no... I was gonna say there's no film like it, but if there is a film like this, I need someone to tell me about it.
Yeah, because I want to watch that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, this movie is just so intentional. It really shows what can happen if everyone, and I mean everyone, is on the same page. All the actors knew, the costume designer, the director, the editor, the music.
Oh, yeah.
Just absolutely everything. They really worked together in a very intentional way.
Absolutely.
I had received really bad news 10 minutes before watching this movie, and I was really worried I wouldn't be able to enjoy it. And not only did I enjoy it, it like totally changed my mood.
Yeah.
This movie made me so happy. It's such a good watch. I cannot recommend it more.
See, that's what... forget about those critically acclaimed bullshit things. This movie made a really rotten day fantastic. That's what I'm here for.
Truly.
Good movie, everyone. Please do watch it. Well, I guess that means we're at our favorite moment.
Yes, we are.
Give me the cheese, please.
I wrote it down somewhere. I need to find where I wrote it down.
Oh, for sure.
I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
exactly what it is.
Get your notes.
but
No worries.
I have my description. Okay, I found it.
Oh, that was super quick.
There were only 2 options.
Oh. Ooh. Okay.
Okay.
3,
3,
2,
2, 1.
A
Delbert
blueberry goat
fromage
cheese
Huguenot.
log.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
I can't.
It's so satisfying, right? Like when it clicks.
These are good cheeses. We love to have the guests go first, unless you'd rather defer to later.
I mean, I'll go first.
Yeah.
I was ruminating on this for a long time because I was very excited for eventually deciding what I was going to do.
Love.
And I was thinking about it all day yesterday, honestly. All day. And then last night came.
Yes.
10:21 last night, it came to me. So I chose a blueberry goat cheese log because, and I do want to just read it verbatim, the reason I gave last night at 10:21. It's colorful, sweet. Why are there blueberries on my goat cheese? And it spreads easily. I don't know what that last part means, but I was feeling it in the moment, so I felt like I should share.
Yeah.
It's just, I know every time that I go back to this film, and I've shown it to a lot of people, and I've told a lot of people about it, I know how brilliant it is, but I know that it's easy to look at the DVD case
Yeah.
Aww.
and anticipate that it's gonna be a bad 90s movie.
I may have felt that way going in.
Yeah.
I trusted your judgment.
Right.
But I was like, how?
Right. And the cast works so well.
Yes.
But if you look at the cast list just for what it is, with how we know these people now, it's like, what? What?
Love it.
And it just works. And that's how I felt the first time I had a blueberry goat cheese log. And it specifically has to be the log because I just love what that looks like and I love the name.
I love a cheese log.
Yes. Oh, it spreads easily like many legs in
I
this
literally
movie.
was thinking that.
Maybe that's what I meant. But anyway, so that's my choice, and I was very excited to do a cheese.
Ha-cha. Ta-ta-ta. Maybe I should go last since it was my first time watching the film.
True. Okay, I'll go. So there is a family-owned farm that is a cheese estate because all the milk used for their cheese products is from that farm.
A different cheese estate.
Is that the goat one?
No, that's a different one.
Oh, okay.
When Cheese Capital, come visit, is the point.
I've heard about some of the cheese estates and I love goats, so I've seen pictures of the goat one.
The name of the farm is Dalewood Fromage, and this cheese specifically is their Huguenot cheese, which you can only buy at the estate.
Ooh.
And you get some of the other cheeses in the supermarkets, so it's familiar. You're familiar with the brand, you're familiar with the name. Much like many of the actors in this movie, you know who they are. But the Huguenot cheese specifically is the largest wheel of cheese produced in South Africa.
What?
But you don't really hear about it because it's just sold on the farm. And it is such a delicious cheese. It's so versatile. And it's a semi-hard, which I feel like Catch was for most of the time he was courting Barbara. She was also ready to go. But its overtones are nutty, which I feel like this movie is. And it's very versatile. You can cook with it or you can have it on a cheese board. So
I love that.
Huguenot's cheese from Dalewood Fromage.
I have a few similar things to that. I chose raclette. Any fondue fan will know a raclette, but other than those folks, a lot of people haven't heard of this cheese. So that was the first bit. The big thing with raclette is, okay, so you've got a cheese that is actually a little bit nutty, a little bit sweeter, and it's very similar to a Gruyere in that way. But the nice thing about a raclette is that it's got an incredible melting point, hence the fondue. So one unfortunate thing about a raclette is that it does smell like foot. She's stinky. And through 3/4 of this movie, Ewan McGregor was stinky, and I was not into it. And then I got humbled at the end, and it melted me a little bit. And I was finally okay with the relationship, and therefore it's an ooey gooey raclette.
Those are so perfect.
All the cheeses are perfect.
Yes, I love this segment so much.
It's literally what started the pod, was
Yes.
us joking about this stupid idea.
It's very true.
As always, if it's stupid, it's my favorite thing.
Mhm.
There you have it, everyone. That was our discussion of Down with Love.
Let us know your thoughts on the movie, any shenanigans we may have missed, or what cheese you think it is.
And of course, since we have our very special guest, Devon, expert in actors from the 90s and aughts, if people want to ask you what movie from older times they should watch, where can they find you?
Oh my gosh, please do ask me. I have a plethora of recommendations. So you can find me on Instagram at Devon Padley. It's just my name, DevonPadley.
Love it. Is there anything else you want to plug?
No, but
Aw.
I need to say how excited I am to be here for this because,
Aw.
Jane, you and I were talking weekly during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the creation of this podcast. I remember
Aw.
when it was a thought, when it was an idea. I remember when you guys got your art for it, when you found the name for it. And I love listening to it. So I'm
Aw.
very excited to be here. And thank you both so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
We've loved having you here. It's been amazing.
You have been on the list since the very beginning. Jane told
Yes.
me about what type of movies you would probably recommend. Like, I was fully prepared for today, and I'm so
Yes.
happy you came and joined us.
Oh, I'll come back anytime.
Yay! That was so fun, everyone.
Yay!
If you have more recommendations for us, please send us a message. You can find us on Instagram at shenanigansensuepod, or you can email us at shenanigansensuepod@gmail.com.
We hope you'll join us next time, and until then,
I'm always thinking of you.
Bye.
Okay, I had a realization.
Uh-huh.
David Hyde Pierce has a girl put on your shoes moment when he says, "Where's the geisha? I need my shoes."
Also, I was really worried about Barbara getting out of the tub and putting on those very impractical slippers.
Oh, I wasn't worried for her. I was mad. Dry your feet before you put those shoes on.
Those are feathers.
Girl, put on your practical shoes.
That's where they lost me.